for today's cup of coffee.
We did it again!
Yes, every day they're going, they did it again.
Yes.
I'm concerned about Mr. Redfern becoming black-pilled.
Really?
The past several articles that he has written have been kind of, maybe he and Paul Seaburn have had some kind of soul exchange or something.
I mean, look at the state of our world right now. What do you expect?
Well, I don't know, maybe. But, so, this one was actually one of the ones that I could use by Mr. Redfern. And from June 18th, 2022, mysterious...
Juneteenth.
No, that's the 20th is when that is.
See, that doesn't even make sense.
It does not. It does. None of it makes any sense. Anyhow, this is Mysterious Universe. Sinister Skies and Secret Spies. The Black Helicopter Mystery. Yeah.
Okay.
Unmarked helicopters hovering.
Unmarked helicopters hovering.
Yeah. The Lord is coming soon. Yeah. Good song.
X-Files.
Soul Coffee. They were the ones that did that, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did it for X-Files, I think.
Yes. This is an excellent song. If you ever get a chance, Songs in the Key of X was, as far as the soundtrack, some of the songs that were featured. There were a lot of, they had a lot of good stuff. Now, not every song off of that album is fabulous. But that's actually one of the X-Files episodes about the Demon Baby. That was the one where I found the...
Rosemary's Baby?
No, musical group Garbage. Only Happy When It Rains was used in that. And I thought, damn, that's a really good song. Let's find out who does that.
Garbage. I like the band Garbage.
What a horrible name for a group, though.
I like it. I think it's good. And they have good music.
No, I mean, when you've got names like that, it's... No.
Can you give an example of a better name? That would suit them?
A lot of things. I don't know why some of the bands name themselves the things that they do, but it's just like, yeah, if you've got a band, name it. You can name it something that's catchy but not repulsive.
Scarling.
Yeah, that's better. I mean, you can deal with that. Anyhow,
Singer from Jack Off Jill.
Yeah, which was another horrible band name. Who does that? I mean, that's definitely...
It's a snarky...
That's putting you in a
snarky
very
band title.
Small market. It really is. Very.
If Scarling would release new music, maybe they would be more popular than Jack Off Jill.
I don't know. Anyhow. Are we ready for this? Are we ready for that? All right. Mr. Redfern writes, there can be very few people, if any, with an interest in UFOs, conspiracies, cover-ups, and strange and sinisters going on in a distinctly weird nature, who have not heard of the so-called black helicopters or phantom helicopters that seem to play an integral role in perceived UFO-connected events. One of the biggest misconceptions about this deeply weird phenomenon is that those same mysterious helicopters are lacking in official documentation, but that's not so.
Oh?
The FBI's now declassified files on cattle mutilations in the 1970s. I need to actually go read those.
Leave the poor cattle alone.
Make for fascinating reading and demonstrate the Bureau had a deep awareness of the presence of the enigmatic helicopters. On 29th August 1975, I hate it when they do that, Floyd K. Haskell, Senator for the state of Colorado, wrote an impassioned letter to Theodore P. Rosick, Special Agent in charge of the FBI at Denver, Colorado, imploring the FBI to make a full investigation into the cattle mutilations in an attempt to resolve the matter once and for all. I'm looking for my ink pen. And Haskell said, quote, For several months, my office has been receiving reports of cattle mutilations throughout Colorado and other western states. At least 130 cases in Colorado alone have been reported to local officials and the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, the CBI. The CBI has verified that the incidents have occurred for the last 2 years in 9 states. Ranchers, and rural residents of Colorado are concerned and frightened by these incidents.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, absolutely, I would be. The bizarre mutilations are frightening in themselves. In virtually all cases, the left ear, rectum, and sex organ of each animal has been cut away, and
That's fucked up.
and the blood drained from the carcass, but with no traces of blood left on the ground and no footprints. End quote.
That's fucked up.
It is. It has always been very
Man.
odd.
I knew that they like did stuff to cattle or whatever, but I didn't know they did all that too.
Oh yeah.
That's disturbing.
How did you not know that?
Because I am still an amateurish
Okay.
alien researcher.
Well, I guess I've been doing this stuff longer than I like to think I've been doing it. It says there was an unmarked helicopter out in force in Colorado
Unmarked helicopter.
too. Senator Haskell
Hovering.
was well aware. Quote, in Colorado's Morgan County area, there has also been reports that a helicopter was used by those who mutilated the carcasses of the cattle, and several persons have reported being chased by a similar helicopter. Because I am gravely concerned by this situation, I am asking that the Federal Bureau of Investigation enter the case. Although the CBI has been investigating the incidents and local officials have also been involved, the lack of a central unified direction has frustrated the investigation. What?
What the hell is a CBI?
I told you that. It was the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. You got to keep up with these
That's
alphabets.
That's what I'm like.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Right. That's government. Automatically, it's these alphabet agencies.
Bruh.
Okay, so Haskell continued, quote, it seems to have progressed little, except for the recognition at long last that the incidents must be taken seriously. Now it appears that ranchers are arming themselves to protect their livestock, as well as their families and themselves, because they are frustrated by the unsuccessful investigation. Clearly something must be done before someone gets hurt, end quote. Well, guess what? Somebody had already been hurt.
Yeah.
Because when you start losing cattle, you're losing money.
Maybe they mean like actual physical damage.
Well,
but financial damage is still
absolutely.
like, damn,
That affects
that
families.
was my livestock.
Yeah.
That was my money getting killed.
Right. The loss of livestock in at least 21 states under similar circumstances suggested that an interstate operation was being coordinated. Senator Haskell closed his letter by urging the FBI to begin its investigation as soon as possible. Senator Haskell forced the issue by issuing a press release informing the media that he had asked the FBI to investigate the mutilations. See, that was pretty cool. Because by involving the press, it was a matter of letting the public know what he was doing.
Yeah.
This caused the Denver Post newspaper to take up the senator's plea on 3 September. September 3rd, Mr. Redfern. September 3rd.
It's English. Is he English? Is he from...
He was originally from England, yes.
So then, yeah, that is... For them, that is correct.
Anyhow, for me, it's just annoying. Quote, if the Bureau...
They put the...
They put the date before the month and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, anyhow. Quote,
My brain glitched there for a second. It just went...
If the Bureau will not enter the investigation of the mysterious livestock deaths in Colorado and some adjacent states, then Senator Floyd Haskell should take the matter to Congress for resolution, end quote. Aware of previous FBI statements that the killings were not within the Bureau's jurisdiction, the Denver Post stated firmly, quote, the incidents are too widespread and potentially too dangerous to public order to ignore. Narrow interpretations of what the FBI's role is vis-a-vis state authority are not adequate to the need, end quote. So that was calling them the task for them to sit there and go, oh, it's a matter of, jurisdiction.
Yeah.
That's a cop-out on that.
Yeah.
The idea of possible disregard for the law should the Bureau not wish to become involved was also high on the Post's agenda. Now, I want you to pay attention because there's some propaganda in this, big time. See if you can spot it. Quote, there is already federal involvement. Consider this. Because of the gun-happy frame of mind developing in eastern Colorado, where most of the incidents have been occurring, the U.S. Bureau of Land Management has had to cancel a helicopter inventory of its lands in 6 counties. Officials are simply afraid their helicopters might be shot down by ranchers and others frightened by cattle deaths, end quote.
Bruh. The fuck?
Yeah. This was 1975, so this push has been going on for a while.
My God, that is fucking...
Well, first of all, why would anybody be flying that low over somebody's lands without reason?
I mean, if it were me, I would be doing that just to annoy the piss out of people. I'd be the goblin in the sky. The sky goblin.
Yeah, but you have to have records of why you were doing certain things. Coffee slurp.
Yes, me being like, what you got down there? Okay, have a nice day.
This is why you do not need to be involved in any of these things.
No.
Okay, on the day after publication, Special Agents Rosak and SAMHSA of Colorado FBI made a visit to the offices of the Denver Post, where, in a meeting with 3 Post representatives, Charles R. Buxton, Lee Osden,
what?
Close enough for Jason. Nobody knows who these people are.
What?
And Robert Partridge, they spelled out the FBI's position
normies with fucked up names
with respect to mutilations. Quote, unless the FBI has investigative jurisdiction under federal statute, we cannot enter any investigation, end quote. Okay, one of the Colorado senators had been requesting it. So what more needs to be done?
Apparently something else. That's like getting an exorcism from the Vatican.
Really. 1 week later,
through hoops.
on September 11th, again, this is 1975, Senator Haskell telephoned Clarence M. Kelly at the FBI to discuss the issue of cattle and animal mutilation and the possibility of the FBI becoming involved in determining who exactly was responsible. Again, the FBI asserted that this was a matter outside of its jurisdiction. The Bureau noted, quote, Senator Haskell said that he understood our statutory limitations, but he wished that there was something we could do, end quote. And that was reported by FBI official R.J. Gallagher.
Did someone stand up and be like, it is your jurisdiction?
Well, I mean, if the state is asking for, help from federal whatever. Haskell had additional reasons for wanting the mutilation issue resolved swiftly, as Gallagher recorded in an internal memorandum on September the 12th, 1975. Quote, Senator Haskell recontacted me this afternoon and said that he had received a call from Dane Edwards, editor of the paper in Brush, Colorado, who furnished information that the U.S. Army helicopters had been seen in the vicinity of where some of the cattle were mutilated and that he, Edwards, had been threatened. But Senator Haskell did not know what sort of threats Edwards had received or by whom. He was advised that this information would be furnished to our Denver office and that Denver would be closely following the situation, end quote. The FBI ultimately determined that the unidentified helicopter issue was also outside of its jurisdiction.
They just don't want to fuck with it because they are hiding shit. That's why.
Curiously, however, during this same time frame, mysterious reports of both UFOs and unidentified helicopters surfaced in the immediate vicinity of strategic military installations around the USA, and there is evidence that someone within the FBI was fully aware of this.
No shit.
Yeah.
It's like, if you just don't want to fuck with it, just say it flat out.
And
be more respected that way. Be fucking transparent.
And was taking more than a cursory interest in these sightings. Are you kidding? They're not going to be transparent about jack shit.
I know. They never are. But guess what? People would be more likely to trust them that way.
Oh, hell no. Never, never. Proof comes via a number of Air Force reports forwarded to the FBI only weeks after its contact with Senator Haskell. One report from December 1975 states, quote, on 7 November 75, an off-duty missile launch officer reported that unidentified aircraft resembling a helicopter had approached and hovered near a USAF, United States Air Force, damn it,
USAF?
missile launch control facility near Lewiston. Source explained that at about 0027 November 75, Source and his deputy officer had just retired from crew rest in the soft support building, the SSB,
loves it,
at the LCF, which LCF stands for Launch Control Facility, when both heard the sound of a helicopter rotor above the SSB. The deputy observed two red and white lights on the front of the aircraft, a white light on the bottom, and a white light on the rear. Let's see, I'm trying to see if that was all of it. Yeah, that's all of my...
On the ass.
End quote. On 7 November 75, Roscoe E. It's either Eel or the third captain of 341 Strategic Missile Wing advised that during the hours of 6 to 7 November 75, two adjacent LCFs approximately 50 miles south of the aforementioned LCF reported moving lights as unidentified flying objects, UFOs. During this period, there were no reports of helicopter noises from personnel at these LCFs. Now, that's kind of concerning when you've got some kind of something flying near a launch control facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
And
We got ourselves a bogey.
yeah, really. And they also further stated this office was recently notified of a message received by security police MAFB, MT.
Oh my god, this damn alphabet
means.
shit.
Detailing a similar nocturnal approach by a helicopter at a USAF weapons storage area located at another USAF base in the northern tier states. That's why it's when you've got dyslexia and trying to read
It's
this
a struggle.
shit. Local authorities denied the use of their helicopters during the period of 6 to 7 November the 75 November 1975, damn it. Speaking full sentences, end quote. It's curious that these reports should have been
The struggle
interest.
bus and mom's the driver.
You really, to the FBI, given the statements made to Senator Haskell that the unidentified helicopter sightings reported in Colorado were outside of the FBI's jurisdiction. Imagine that.
Really?
It is also notable that an unauthenticated document made available to writer Bill Moore refers to the Northern Tier helicopter and UFO sightings of 1975 and expresses concern that in view of the fact that the media had picked up on the stories, there was a need on the part of some authority to develop an effective disinformation plan to counter the developing interest that was surrounding the sightings. Today, the controversy surrounding who is flying the black helicopters remains. Well, now there's no question of the who.
No.
It's just specifically the who. It's not the who, it's the them. It's always the them.
The Who? The band?
No. Yeah, it's Pete Townsend flying around up there. The late Jim Keith, a conspiracy theorist who died under controversial circumstances in 1999, was an acknowledged expert on black helicopters and someone who penned 2 books on the subject. He recalled one incident that demonstrated sightings of black helicopters were occurring well into the 1990s. Quote, on May 23rd, 1994, God bless Mr. Keith, At the Big Meadows on the Blue Ridge Parkway, Virginia, a citizen came upon a blocked-off road leading into the Shenandoah National Park. He observed a black chopper coming in for a landing a short distance away and took photos of the craft. When he asked a park ranger what the black choppers were doing there, the ranger said, "They help us with search and rescue." When the man pointed out to the ranger that the helicopter was equipped with a grenade launcher and added that this hardly seemed to gel with the search and rescue comment, the ranger suddenly became noticeably hostile. As to who precisely is overseeing all these classified operations, perhaps the most likely scenario is that which was offered to a longtime UFO investigator named Tommy Bland. In the early 1980s, Bland had the opportunity to speak with a confidential U.S. military source that was willing to share at least a limited amount of solid data on the black helicopter phenomenon. Bland said that his informant told him of, quote, underground installations as well as isolated areas of military reservations that have squadrons of unmarked helicopters which have sophisticated instrumentation on board that are dispatched to areas of UFO activity to monitor these craft or airlift them out of the area if one has malfunctioned, end quote. So maybe that was the search and rescue.
Yeah, totally.
One final thing, something that demonstrates the technology behind this phenomenon. The issue of silent or near-silent helicopters was one which particularly intrigued Jim Keith. After all, helicopters are known for their deep thump-thump sound. Yeah, a helicopter's pretty distinctive. So to encounter a helicopter that is near silent or perhaps even completely silent would be amazing. In pursuing the tales of the silent copters, Keith found himself repeatedly pointed in the direction of Nevada, where Area 51 is. In February of 1995, the Las Vegas Review-Journal newspaper ran an article entitled "Ex-Worker Describes Stealth Copter," written by a journalist named Susan Green. Commenting, Keith said, according to the statements of a former worker at Groom Lake Air Force Base, a black budget stealth helicopter was being tested at this facility as early as 1990. The code name for this helicopter was TEC, which stood for Test and Evaluation Project K. Keith continues as follows, quote, the former worker at Groom Lake reported that the chopper was olive drab, riveted and angular with gull-winged doors. An account in the Vegas paper quotes experts as saying, light, quiet, and stealthy helicopters could be used for clandestine Rambo-type missions, quick in, quick out assignments without being noticed, end quote. Well, I guess they could have done a paint job. It's the big difference between olive drab and black. So, it's no surprise to anyone that our elite elected would be involved in any of this stuff. There's a lot of people, that are thinking that the UFOs are from our government.
Yeah.
Because this goes all the way back to Operation Paperclip.
Mm-hmm.
And that they were researching things like that over there in Germany. I have to say in Germany as far as World War II.
Loves it.
Because a lot of those peoples were brought over here. Personally, I think a lot of this is fallen angel technology. Is it a matter of reverse engineering? Maybe. Could it be a matter of working with forces of darkness to create things, yes, that are to enslave most of humanity? Oh, yeah, I believe that. Totally, completely. I think a lot of this mess that people have been going through for a while now, but has gone into overdrive, is fallen angel technology. But black helicopters, no, I don't. Of course, we don't have huge cattle ranches around here.
No, we don't.
But when you got,
it's too small space.
Well, yeah. Well, it's mountainous. But when you've got these people, I don't care if you've got 500-600 head of cattle. that's still
still a good portion of money.
Yeah, and of course
Gone.
beef was not selling for quite the cost that it is today. But even back then, if you lost $200 or $300, that's monies.
Yeah. Damn, I bet farmers now are making a fortune though.
No, there have been reports that some, as far as like crops and stuff like that, that they were paid by the government to destroy their crops.
What?
Oh yeah.
Why? For what reason?
Agenda 21.
What was their excuse? I know that it's like, for the downfall of humanity, but like,
what more do you need?
What was their excuse? I want to know so I can fucking laugh at them and be like, ha, y'all are such...
Well, that's exactly what it is a lot of these, there's a lot of people that speculate that the shortages and stuff right now are, that's by design.
Yeah.
If you're paying even a little bit of
manufactured
absolutely.
shortages.
If you are only paying just a little bit of attention. But that's just like I was talking to a gentleman today. I really enjoyed talking with him, and he said that he had family members that are still just totally brainwashed, that they still believe the talking heads on the TVs. And the particular town that we were in, I'm like, oh yeah, this has been a hub. I don't even come down here anymore because that it has become such a stronghold of people that are deceived.
Mm-hmm.
And to cut ties sometimes, well, this happened quite a few years ago with people that I thought were my friends. You find out who your friends are if you discuss certain issues.
Yeah.
And it does matter.
Mm-hmm.
Especially some of them are very outspoken and vocal about it. And I'm like, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Sit there and nod your head like you agree when you don't?
Like,
I can't do it.
Sure, Jan.
Yeah, I can't do
Brady
it.
Bunch reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do it. But as far as...
Sure, Jan.
I think it was Ronald Reagan that said some of the most frightening words in humanity was, I'm from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Coffee slurp. Most people just want to be left alone. See, this is where I have...
Pretty much.
Libertarian leanings. I think that government is just to a minimum amount.
That's how it should have been.
And then just leave us the hell alone.
That's how it was originally designed. For people who want power, they do everything they can.
Well, it's just like property taxes. I was talking about that yesterday. That is one of the most insidious things, to buy something, but it's never yours. And that if you don't pay a property tax, then the government comes and takes it away. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't even give you your money back on it.
Oh, there ain't no money back on it. It's just, I'm going into the realm of David Icke. I know that, but he's true. I still need to put my bumper sticker on the Ghetto-mobile that says Alex Jones was right.
Oh, God.
You don't have to ride in it. I will definitely roll it right on. There'll be quite a few. In this area, we can't get by with it.
Yeah.
And there will be people going, you know what, you're right. So, little by little, some of the truth is coming out. But is it too late? I don't want to be black-pilled, but you wonder.
I mean...
You wonder.
Yeah.
And prayers every day, all day long.
Yes.
So if you've had encounters with I start to say paranoid again, paranormal, supernatural.
Encounters with the paranoid, too.
Yeah, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, black helicopters. Hopefully none
unmarked helicopters.
Hopefully nobody's had issues with the government. My God.
The Lord is coming soon.
If you've got local, regional, or family myths or legends, send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And that email address is there in the description box, so we'll link to the article.
Yes.
Know that you're loved. Mm-hmm. And it's a matter of, everybody taking care of each other, because they are not, their intention is not to help us.
No, it is not.
And if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe and click that notification button for daily notifications of our daily uploads. Thank you all. Have a good helicopters hovering.
We'll see you on the next cup, Lord willing. Bye.